have Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
O'Reilly!
Save money on your next full synthetic oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. We can recommend all the oil change supplies you need. Shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Southern Arizona's home to your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It was a fairly good night for the Snakes in Atlanta at the All-Star Game.
I think sometimes because he plays in Arizona, you lose touch with how good a player Ketel Marte is. In a lineup that's got Freeman and Machado and Tucker, he's the guy that bats third. And he sends a rocket on the ground down the first baseline. It will roll all the way to the corner. Ohtani has scored. Acuna Jr. being waved. There's no throw. And there is the excellence of Ketel Marte.
Not too many guys got to the 100-mile-an-hour pitching of Tarek Skubal, but Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks was one of those guys, giving his side an early 2-0 lead in the All-Star Game. Things continued well for the Snakes later on in a 4-run 5th inning.
Can't be as good as they are, the Tigers, that is, without more pitching than Skubal.
And you're getting it. That ball is hammered to right field. This ball is going and gone. A hanging breaking pitch from Mize, and Corbin Carroll destroyed it. About 20 rows deep into right center. Second home run of the inning for the National League. And they add to their lead and now lead it 6-0.
4-run 6, actually. But Corbin Carroll getting his first All-Star home run, followed up a 3-run shot by Pete Alonso. National League appearing to be in complete control of this baseball game. And then the 7th happened, and the young rookie, or the youngster, not a rookie, but he sounds like a rookie, from Oakland.
Dave Roberts has got a 6-run lead, but a chance for Rooker to change it. Swings and drives one deep to left field. It is high, and it is into row number 2. Brent Rooker goes yard, and the American League has cut the lead in half. It is 6-3.
Brent Rooker from the Oakland A's, matching Pete Alonso's 3-run home run.
Remember, they ain't Oakland no more. You got to remember, they're not Oakland.
But their name is Oakland for the moment. Their name is Oakland.
They're also not Sacramento. They're just the Athletics.
Yeah, well, there you go. The Athletics Baseball Club, I guess, is how Dragon Ball says we need to refer to them. So 6-3 was the score. It would become a closer game, though, as the American League would get, they got a total of 4 runs in that 7th inning, 3 on that shot right there, so 6-4. They would get a run in the 9th, and then 2 men out, National League with a chance to win. My guy, my fantasy guy, as well as my guy from Cleveland, Stephen Kwan, at the plate.
Stephen Kwan, contact hitter. 2-2 on the way. He slaps one, a slow roller. Suarez, no play, We're tied. Stephen Kwan does what Stephen Kwan does.
So tie game. Now, we've been in this thing before. All-Star games have ended tied before. They didn't like that, so they just started going to extra innings and playing for all kinds of stuff. But there's something new. There's something new at the All-Star game. It is called the home run swing-off. And that's what we got in the 10th inning, the home run swing-off. And this would be basically 3 guys from each side getting 3 outs, essentially, kind of like the home run derby. If you don't hit it out, that's an out. You get 3 outs to play with to try to hit as many home runs as possible. The American League was leading in the second round when Kyle Schwarber stepped up, hit not 1, not 2, but
he swings and sends one down the line and right. He's on a knee, and he has gone 3 for 3 to put the NL on top 4-3. What a show by Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber hits 3 home runs in his time up there in the swing off, and that would stand up to allow the National League to win the game 4-3 in the tiebreaker over the American League. Dragon Ball is over here laughing his head off.
It stands, no pun intended, considering Schwarber again went down on the knee on his home run swing, which he's the only guy I can think of that consistently does that with his home run swing. But, man, what an all-star game. So many headaches for me watching that.
So many headaches. So does that mean you liked it or you did not like it?
Oh, no, it was like watching a Pirates game all over again when the bullpen couldn't save Skeens from getting the no decision on that. But home run swing off?
Right, so the NBA All-Star Game's tied at the end, and we have a dunk contest.
Yeah,
to see who
or
wins.
a 3-point shooting contest or something.
That's interesting because I did not watch it, but I went back and kind of reviewed it later. I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of cool. You apparently did not share those thoughts.
I find it to be gimmicky, and if there's one thing that I find that these mid-season, or like I said, the mid-season or postseason All-Star games, depending on what league you're watching, if it starts to get gimmicky, we're getting away from what we're trying to watch, which is just the best versus the best. And in that situation, we don't want to see a game go to 20-something innings where we're seeing position players pitch like we did a couple years back. But at the same time, home run swing-off just seems so bizarre.
It works in soccer. It works in hockey. You can have penalty shootouts because it's the same exact thing that would happen during the course of the actual game itself.
Right.
The home run derby, the dunk contest, that's what I meant. That the equivalent is there is no situation in the regular game of baseball where a dude will stand there and try to hit as many home runs as possible and his team will win. It's not relative. I get the gimmick, and I understand that you're trying to get people home. You're not trying to have 20-inning all-star games. There's a lot of very valuable players out there. We don't want some useless injury at the very end.
Diamondbacks almost got bad on that one, too.
There's no real correct answer to that.
Right.
It's just it's outside the realm of what a baseball game entails. That doesn't exist. There's no home run derby in the middle of a baseball game to decide who wins, so that's the only problem I have with it.
All right, so that it's interesting because that is going to be our question of the day. Head on over to Twitter. I haven't put it up yet. It'll be up momentarily. Did you like the home run swing-off to finalize the MLB All-Star Game? I liked it. Again, most of these All-Star games, you don't want to put guys out there in the 10th, 11th, 12th innings pitching to try to win this game. So you got to come up with a way to finish this thing off and have a winner. I liked what they did there. Dragon Ball and J-Dub sound like they did not necessarily like the way that went down. What did you feel about it? 520-848-1290. We want to hear from you on that. Give us a call. You can text us at that number. And again, we'll have that as our question of the day up on Twitter momentarily at Wildcats1290. Did you like the home run swing-off to finalize the MLB All-Star Game? Yes, it was a hit. No, it was a strikeout.
It's, again, going back to you can't really do it in another sports situation. when you have the NBA All-Star game or a game like that, if it goes in double overtime, you got some stars out there who might play a couple extra minutes. They get a couple of days of rest. They're fine. 11:20 a.m. on Friday is the next regular season Major League Baseball game. You have to get your pitching order right. You have to. So again, baseball is just unique in that, especially with the pitching rotations. If you're going to have somebody, somebody gets called up to be an all-star pitcher, and they only get 6 at bats at the most. They're not going to be out there for very long, but they got to start right up again on Friday morning. So that's the biggest reason why they got to get this thing over with, is that they got meaningful baseball to play right around the corner.
I think that for me, it's just the reason why I have kind of apprehensive feelings towards the whole thing is I have felt for the longest time the consistent movement to try and make baseball a fast sport is making baseball less interesting to me. And I get that we have a pitch clock now. I get that we have all these different things to try and speed the game up. With the fact that we're trying to end baseball games quickly, I feel like we're just trying to say, stop playing baseball, just get it out of the way. We need to clear the field.
The key to what you just said is to you, and you played baseball.
Right.
DK played and was a broadcaster. I think the average person they're trying to get to watch Major League Baseball is people who don't have an interest in the game to begin with. So when you're talking about big home run like this, we heard about this 25 years ago when the pace of the games was really slow, the scoring was way down. How do we get youth excited about the game of baseball? There's no correct answer, and I think all those reasons you just stated are not for you. They're not for David Kelly.
They're not.
They're
for
for the person out there who doesn't have an interest right now in Major League Baseball. And how do you get those people to gain some kind of interest? And again, going back to the thing where if your grandpa's not taking you to the park when you're 6, right? It really kind of, that love starts really early. If you don't have that in your family, if you didn't play high school, junior high school baseball, whatever, little league, then you might not have this natural tendency to want to watch games like this. So they got to find a way to juice it up. That's the day and age we live in.
Be careful saying juice it up, because there's some baseball fans that have a lot of negative connotations to that.
Juice up the ball, not the
juice
players.
up the ball. But again, that's all just like you said. It's me personally. That's just totally me personally.
It's interesting, and we did not necessarily. I mean, we got the names we had in this swing off. Maybe because each team got to pick their 3 players, not maybe the guys you would have thought. Brent Rooker from the American League, Randy Arozarena, Jonathan Aranda, Kyle Stowers, Kyle Schwarber, and Pete Alonso were the players that were involved in this. Not guys named Aaron Judge, not guys named Shohei Ohtani. Now, according to the, I guess the way this all works out, one of the reasons why that Ohtani and Judge did not participate was because they were gone. They hit, and that happens sometimes in these all-star settings. The starters will leave the game, and a lot of them just leave, period. So those guys apparently were gone. They were out of, they had left the ballpark. So they were not available to be in the swing off. But that's kind of the reason that happened there. So if you were wondering, well, why wouldn't you put Ohtani in that situation? Well, Shohei Ohtani was gone, and so was Aaron Judge. They had apparently had private flights that they had to get to because, rich guys have flights. They got to get out of there and have at least have 1 or 2 days off before they have to get back to the main thing.
So let me ask a question. How does the front office of Major League Baseball expect the average fan to pay attention if their superstars don't even bother to stay for the whole game?
I don't know if there's an answer to that question, because that's another part of this whole thing. Was like, if the All-Star game is an inconvenience to the star players of the league, then we really have to rethink how this is being presented.
Apparently the members that participated in the home run derby or swing off were predetermined before the game even started.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think that's very similar to the way they do it in big time soccer tournaments like World Cup or whatever. Like you have to have your list ready to go. I get it. You got your yacht off the South France coast, and you got to get out there, and you got bikinis to see whatever's going on. Like busy guys, you got 4 days off? Is it?
Well, no, they only got I would imagine they got to be, if they're playing Friday night, they got to be at the ballpark or in the city or they're playing it tomorrow. So basically 1 day.
Better things to do than be in Atlanta.
Yeah, 24 hours to go get your All-Star break on. 520-848-1290. What did you think of the swing off? It's up on our Twitter page right now. The poll of the day, the question of the day. If you liked it, if you did not like it, let us know already. It's trending to no. 67% early saying no, we did not like it. No, it was a strikeout. The home run swing off to finalize the MLB All-Star game. I'll jump on and bring that back to 50%. We have 3 votes so far because I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool. Because, again, you cannot throw guys out there and risk going 12, 13, 14 innings in an all-star setting. And I'd love to hear, what's a better way to end it? If you think there's a better way to end this quickly other than a swing-off, a home run type of situation, would you just like them to play like they do during the regular season where they put the ghost runner on second base? I think that actually started in the All-Star game, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. I think they did that first. And now they thought this was a more exciting way. And just judging by the crowd, they were into it. They were into it at the end of the game.
I got a what if. So yesterday we talked quite a lot about how many of the names in the lineups for the All-Star break in the All-Star game were not recognizable, were not huge names, right? What if we got the players on the teams that did want to be there, continue playing the game, and then you get the call of the walk-off home run by the player that not a lot of people have heard of, and guess what? Forever else, that guy is the guy who hit a home run to walk off in the All-Star game, and then his name is known. Like that whole thing. I just mean there's got to be players out there. The rosters have to be big enough that they could extend it a little bit. Again, there's no correct answer because once it goes 10, it could go 20.
Exactly.
Right? So that's the big problem.
And that's the problem that you're dealing with here. All right, DK on the sports tip. We got a lot to get to today. The Mercury lose. They could not win a third straight game without their 2 best players, and then Monica Koa-Makani did not play in the ball game. So who knew she was the swing person that actually they could not win without today as they lose to the Minnesota Lynx in a daytime affair. Caitlin Clark is hurt again. We'll get into that. That was sad to watch last night if you saw it. We're going to talk some Tucson Roadrunners. Ben McCartney is going to join us straight ahead. He has re-signed for another year on the ice here with your Roadrunners. DK on the sports tip. We are not streaming video today again due to our camera situation, technical difficulties with our cameras, but we are streaming on all of our video platforms, just audio only. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions that are reported in Oro Valley, a wreck at Oracle and Suffolk and Oracle, and a collision at First and Grant. Tonight, Euclid, south of Speedway, scheduled to close from 6 tonight till 6 tomorrow morning for water line work. 75 are overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoehorn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The American Red Cross is asking to give blood or platelets now to help people counting on life-saving medical care. Type O blood is especially needed on hospital shelves. It's the most common blood type and can be critical in emergencies. If you don't know your blood type, that's okay. You'll learn it after your donation, and donors of all blood types can make a tremendous difference. Make an appointment to give today. Use the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to book your donation.
Since 1956, El Torero has been serving up authentic, Sonoran-style Mexican cuisine in the heart of historic 4th Avenue right here in Tucson. Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, this South Tucson staple is where tradition meets flavor. Home of the best green corn tamales in town. El Torero's recipes have stood the test of time, offering a true taste of Tucson's rich culinary heritage. From their classic patty tacos to refreshing margaritas and cold beer, every bite and sip tells a story of family and flavor. El Torero, more than a restaurant, it's a tradition. Visit them today on historic 4th Avenue and experience the taste of Tucson.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from El Torero. You can get a $50 El Torero gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
O'Reilly.
Save money on your next full synthetic oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. We can recommend all the oil change supplies you need. Shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are still a few months away from getting going on the hockey season, but it is that time of year when guys are starting to find their new homes in the game where they're going to be playing, and one of those guys is Ben McCartney. You saw him on the ice this past season with your Tucson Roadrunners, played in a career-high 63 games, had 33 points, just 23 years old. And a couple of weeks ago, or about a month ago, he signed a 2-way contract with the Utah Mammoth to remain in the organization. He joins us now. I believe you're from his homeland in Manitoba. Is that correct, Ben?
Yeah, I am. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good. So what's happening? What's it like in Manitoba right now? Is it hot? Is it cold? Are the temperatures just great? Are you hanging out on the lake with a fishing pole in your hand? What are you doing right now?
You know what? It's beautiful right now. Obviously, the winters are harsh, but the summer's been going good. Yeah, I go a little fishing here and there, golf, work on the farm, just keeping busy.
Okay, so did you grow up on the farm?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I grew up on a grain farm for my whole life, and to this day I still help out my dad, and like I said, it keeps me busy, and no, I enjoy it.
So what's that like, and what does that entail? Like, what's the I guess the childhood workload? What are the types of things that you do on the farm? To I guess I'm imagining that's the family business.
Yeah, it's a generational farm on my dad's side. And you know what? It's just I'm still on the bottom of the totem pole. I do the same stuff like when I was 5 years old. So it's I don't know if I don't have my dad's trust yet, but it's working it up. Whether it's cleaning the grain bin or doing the lawn, like I just do the little things. But you know what? I enjoy it.
Is that I guess is it the type of work that kind of maybe builds you a little muscle to play hockey? Is it that kind of work, or?
I'd say so here and there. Obviously, you're outside, you're doing stuff. But nowadays, it's a lot of just driving around and doing little things like that. You aren't chucking hay bales like it was the 70s back then. So, you know what? But you know what? I take it. Takes up some time in the off season, and no, it makes it go by fast.
Now, are there younger brothers, older brothers to help you with all of this?
You know what? I have two sisters, and they are not involved with the farm. So It's pretty much just myself and my dad.
There you go. Ben McCartney joining us. He is a forward for the Tucson Roadrunners, signed a two-way deal with the Utah Mammoth this past June to return to the organization. First of all, I think you're the first player that we've actually interviewed since the Mammoth announced their name. So what do you think of the Mammoth, and what are the players? What are the guys saying about that? Do they like the nickname Mammoth? What's the talk amongst the guys about the new nickname?
Well, you know what? Everyone loves it by the sounds of it. On my part, I like it a lot. I think it's cool. It's a lot of culture with the Mammoths and being in that area. And you know what? I love the logo too. So I think it's gonna look real nice this year.
We're chatting with Ben McCartney, a 23-year-old forward for the Tucson Roadrunners, with the club, obviously, last year, still kind of working his way. Has played, I believe you have played, if I'm not mistaken, you have 2 games of service in the National Hockey League so far in your young career. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do.
So what was that like? To walk us through what your call-up was like, what that opportunity was like. You spent some time in the penalty box, I think, during those 2 games. what was that experience like for you to get your first call-up with the Arizona Coyotes back 3 years ago?
Well, it's everything you dream of ever since you were a kid. You know, it was a really cool experience, and being able to dip my toes at that young of age, it was just a surreal feeling. It almost felt like a blur there. But you know what? My grandparents got to watch me. My mom and dad came out too, and it was just right after COVID, so I'm lucky that they were allowed to travel. And it was just a surreal feeling. I can't really explain it into words, but it was just something a league that you want to be back in.
Now, I got to ask you, I mentioned you spent some time in the penalty box, 4 penalty minutes in your 2 games. So I would imagine that was 2 2-minute shifts. What did you do wrong to get yourself put in the penalty box in the National Hockey League?
Well, I remember one. I actually turned her over at the blue line, and the guy was kind of on a fast break for a breakaway. So I just mauled the guy down. And you know what? I actually forget what the other one was like there. But you know what? I have a tendencies of getting into the box, and whether it's good or bad penalties, it's something I got to work on, I guess.
And obviously, you know, you spent now pretty much 4 full seasons, 22, 23, 24 in this past season, logging the majority of your time in Tucson. What's it been like for you to play down here in Southern Arizona and with these guys, and obviously with Steve Podfant kind of leading the way? What have you taken away from that experience?
You know, it's been unbelievable being there for 4 years, I guess 5 almost with the COVID season there. It's just a really good organization, top and bottom, and just the group of guys year after year have been really good. And just being a kid and growing up, learning the pro life, it's been a lot of learning points in my career, and I'm just passing it down to the young guys. It's a cool opportunity, and you know, I love Tucson. It's an unbelievable city, and I'm happy to be here for another couple of years.
Now, I mentioned right at the top, you signed a 2-way contract, so you'll go to camp, obviously, and I'm sure you've been to camp before, so this won't be the first time for you. But what do you feel like you've got to do now? Obviously, with 4 years under your belt, 4 full years under your belt in the AHL, what do you feel like you have to do to put yourself in a position to potentially make the club out of camp?
You know what? Just being consistent. I feel like that's everything in life. Is just doing the same things every day, and I think that comes with maturing, and I think that's what's going to help me get to the next level. And you got to go to camp, but you don't want to do too much, but you don't want to do too little. So it's just something about just being in the happy medium of all things, and I feel ready to go already, and I'm excited for September.
What do you feel you do best? What's like if you were to write out your scouting report, what are some of the things you're putting on there?
I think it's just more of my energy. I think I'm capable of doing a lot of different things out there, whether it's being on the fourth line or being able to contribute on the top lines. I think it's interesting the way I play, because when I'm at my best, it's when I'm carefree. And, it's just pretty much just being kind of a grinding type role, but having a little offensive flair. And, I just got to stick to that.
So, are there times where you feel like maybe you're not in that carefree kind of mindset? Do you feel like you get too tight at times? What's it like when you get out of that?
Yeah, I think obviously there's times it almost feels like when you're playing your best, it seems like you're not thinking about anything. And I think there's like a happy medium. You got to stay focused in the game. But if you stay too focused, you start overthinking other things in the past. But it's just more like maturing. Just keep learning, be like a sponge out there. Like I was talking to a guy who was 38. He was playing pro hockey, and he still learns things to this day. So it's kind of just be a sponge. Learn something every day.
Who's that guy that you learned from?
Crapnell.
Yeah.
He used to play there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember him as well. I was going to ask you also about kind of what you loved about playing with Cameron Hebig.
Oh, I loved it. That guy, I've been with him for 4 years. It's been unbelievable. And, a guy I learned a lot from. And, I only have good things to say about Heaves. One of the hardest workers I know, and he deserves everything he gets. And it's been a pleasure playing with him.
We're chatting with Ben McCartney, Tucson Roadrunners. He's hanging out on the family farm up in Manitoba. So now let me ask you, Manitoba, you guys don't have a NHL team. Why does Manitoba not have an NHL team?
Well, Manitoba does. It's the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that
used to be in the Arizona Coyotes, and they moved over there. So,
okay.
It was Winnipeg Jets. Yeah.
Okay, I thought Winnipeg. I didn't know Winnipeg was. I thought that was in one of the other provinces. But you guys.
There's a team there.
So did you grow up a Winnipeg Jet fan? Well, obviously you didn't because they weren't there for a long time. But have you been a fan since they came back?
Oh yeah, I keep tabs on them, and my dad, he's a big fan of them, and it's nice having a local team there in a small I guess province. And
now
I've always been a big fan.
How far is that from where you are?
It's about an hour.
Oh, so it's close.
Yeah, everything's pretty close to Manitoba.
So in other words, Manitoba is not that big.
No, everything's just in the south part. It's too cold up north.
We're chatting with Ben McCartney from the Tucson Roadrunners. Okay, we talked a little bit at the beginning. You said you like to fish. So what do you catch in the summer up there? And how often do you go out?
I go out probably maybe a couple times a month. I'm not a crazy fisherman,
Okay.
but when we go out there, we try to get pickerel, fly, and we catch putt for fun, but because they create a little bit of a tug fest, so it's nice.
Now, and are you the kind? Are you catching it and then stripping it and cooking it?
Oh no, I'm just a catch and release type of guy.
Okay, oh, you catch and release. Okay, so you're not bringing it home to mom. You're not bringing it home to mom, and she's not cooking it up, or her dad is not cooking it up, or anything like that.
She don't want any swamp fish stinking up the house.
Smart lady.
Yeah.
For sure. Smart lady. So obviously you mentioned September's coming up and you'll be back in camp. So at what point, what are the things you're doing right now to just kind of stay strong, training, and be ready for camp coming up?
Yeah, obviously doing the cliche skating and working out. And just taking care of the body, whether it's eating right or just being able to enjoy time with friends and family to help out the mind, because these are the type of days we're in the middle of the season. You don't really have family to lean on, so just taking complete advantage of that.
There you go. He is Brent McCartney, and he is closing in on some pretty interesting franchise records. He's fourth in Roadrunners history in goals scored, fourth in points, just 1 goal and 1 point away from tying former Roadrunner Lane Peterson for third in both of those categories. So he's got a lot of history with this franchise, and we're looking forward to more of that this coming season. 10 years of Tucson Roadrunners hockey here in Southern Arizona this season. And, we'd like to see Ben be a part of it, but we'd also like to see Ben up in the big show doing his thing up at Salt Lake City. Have you had a chance to see a game up there yet?
No, I just saw a preseason game, but even the atmosphere for that was unbelievable. But hopefully this year, you gotta catch a regular season game in person.
Yeah,
the best
playing
view in the house
it.
too.
Yeah, playing in it.
Yeah.
Playing in it would be the best thing. I left out. You're also third in history in power play goals for the Roadrunners with 17. What makes you one of those guys that's really good on the special team?
Well, I play in front of the net usually, so the puck must be hitting my body. But no, just getting the opportunity is an unbelievable chance to even be on the power play there. And you just you play with good players, and you just gotta get open.
Okay, so if you're one of those guys that's kind of just like you mentioned, in front of the net, the guys are shooting it, you're trying to get the tip to redirect the puck. Is that hard to do? Is it? I mean, can you see? I mean, because obviously the puck's coming fast. Are you just kind of sticking your stick out there, hoping that you might be able to get a piece of it, or do you kind of have a feel for how to do that?
Well, exactly. Yeah, just doing reps in practice, trying to tip the puck moving, but it's pretty tough when you're getting boxed out too. So it's more just. It's more of a mentality when you're in front of the net, because that's what creates opportunities. You don't get them from behind the net. So, no, it's it's hard on the body, but it's rewarding.
There you go. Ben McCartney, just 23 years old, and looking forward to what will be another season here playing in this organization with both Tucson and hopefully getting his second opportunity with the Utah club in the National League. Ben, hey, enjoy the rest of the summer. Don't work too hard on the farm. Get some more fishing in, and we look forward to seeing you back here in September.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
There we go. Ben McCartney of the Tucson Roadrunners. Utah Mammoth signed a 2-year, 2-way contract worth $775,000 over the next 2
Dragon Ball, the level of humble, right? It's like you got you're the record holder, 17 power play goals, and he just says, "Well, I just put my body in front of the net. It's just like hits off my body." Like it's just so consistently humble are these scoring hockey players,
And a lot of it is that when you put your body in front of the net to get that redirect, it's everybody else is doing the hard part of chasing away from people. You're just over here trying to.
Well, you say that, but the hard part is boxing out, is what he said.
Trying to keep that guy,
to keep the other bodies out from in front of the net.
Yeah, trying to keep that guy that's trying to hit you with the cross check in the hip from actually getting you down on the ice there.
All right, and see, I learned something new today. I did not know Winnipeg was in Manitoba. I could have sworn that was in Ontario, but that shows you what I know about. It's in fact the capital of Manitoba. So maybe I should have known that Winnipeg is the capital of Manitoba. I don't know my Canadian geography in the least. Cricket, I don't know if she knows. We'll ask her if she knows any Canadian geography when she comes and joins us later in the show. Right now, she's going to get you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions that are reported: Oracle and Suffolk in Oro Valley, Suffolk and Oracle, First and Grant Road and First Avenue, and also Speedway and Pantano that could be off on private property. Westbound I-10 Irvington off-ramp closed. You can exit westbound I-10 at Alvernon or Ajo Kino instead. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-283-2427. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-283-2427, 800-283-2427, 800-283-2427.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
We're getting the word out. Right Way is the best choice for plumbing, not just for maintenance and installation, but for sewer and drain service as well. Whether it's leaking, no hot water, slow drains, clogged toilets, or tree roots in the sewer line, we do it the right way. We also offer torrential sewer repairs to save customers time and money.
For a limited time, you can save 10% off any repairs or product installation. Call or text 520-276-2775 to book your free estimate or visit rightwayac.com today. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Since 1956, El Torero has been serving up authentic Sonoran-style Mexican cuisine in the heart of historic 4th Avenue right here in Tucson. Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, this South Tucson staple is where tradition meets flavor. Home of the best green corn tamales in town. El Torero's recipes have stood the test of time, offering a true taste of Tucson's rich culinary heritage. From their classic patty tacos to refreshing margaritas and cold beer, every bite and sip tells a story of family and flavor. El Torero, more than a restaurant, it's a tradition. Visit them today on historic 4th Avenue and experience the taste of Tucson.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from El Torero. You can get a $50 El Torero gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
This is Bill Ryder with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. Yesterday's All-Star game was riveting, but the idea that baseball is magically saved is ludicrous. Until the Pirates can compete and spend money, until the Rays situation is stabilized, until teams like the Rockies don't try to lose games, until the TV revenue is fixed, baseball has a long ways to go, and so does its commissioner. I'm Bill Ryder.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It was a rough end to the night last night in Boston for one Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has scored the last 9 points for Indiana. A patented bounce pass. And Caitlin looks like she's in pain after that pass. She had been dealing most recently with a groin injury.
Right here, she explodes, makes the backdoor pass, and immediately grabs the inside of that right leg. Yeah, she kind of pull up, a little bit of a jerk motion to stop her momentum. She looked like she was definitely in some pain there.
Just 4 games with that groin injury. Playing 28 minutes tonight. So Caitlin just 5 points heading into the 4th quarter, but just come alive.
But right now on the bench after looking like she is in some pain.
Yeah, that was, she walked it down to the opposite end of the floor, banged her head on the basket standard in frustration, and you could just see the pain and the emotion in her face when she doubled over in pain near the Fever bench during a timeout late in that game. As you heard the announcers mention, she's missed, I believe, 9 games already this season with thigh and groin injuries. And just rough to see for one of the best players in the game that she just has not been able to find a way through these injuries and get completely better. And it's tough. We've kind of talked about it all season long, just how many games there are in such a short amount of time in the WNBA and playing these back-to-backs. There's a lot of back-to-backs and a lot of games and a lot of days for these teams. And when you have an injury like that, you can sit and try to rehab, but then you get back out there and it's tough. It's just tough to have the amount of time that you really need to probably recover from the type of injury that she has. Let's hear from head coach Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever after the game last night.
No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get evaluated and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just kind of to follow up on that. Looks like she was kind of grabbing at her right groin area. Is that the concern?
Yeah, if that's the one she was grabbing at. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
All right, that was Stephanie White. Apparently, Stephanie White has they play tonight in New York against the Liberty, and Stephanie White has just completed her pregame press conference. So we'll see if there's any updated information on that in terms of Caitlin Clark's status, because you've got the All-Star game coming up. She is a captain. I would imagine she's probably not going to play tonight. In fact, she has been ruled out of tonight's game with the re-aggravated groin issue, so she will not play in that game tonight, which we will tell you how to go now, or I should say BetMGM Network will tell you how to go with that right now.
We have a full slate in the W tonight. I'm Kate Constable, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. The last day before the WNBA All-Star break, the Liberty host a Fever team that could be without Caitlin Clark. With Indiana on the back end of a back-to-back and New York fully rested, I expect the Liberty to roll here and cover as 9.5-point favorites over at BetMGM. I'm Kate Constable from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, so there you have it. Take the New York Liberty tonight is the play, especially with no Caitlin Clark. That game right now on the board at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook is 9.5. Liberty minus 9.5 over the Fever at minus 117. So your $12.90 bet will get you back $11.22. Just rough to see that pain on Caitlin Clark's face last night.
Well, I mean, the WNBA has been underwater for so long, and like having this breath of fresh air with this huge new crop of college players coming in with so much hype as Caitlin leading the charge, it's sad to see her not in these games, Dragon Ball, because a big reason why a lot of the newer WNBA fans tune in is to see her hit a shot from 30 feet out.
Yeah, and it's the look on her face immediately going to the bench area. It's that combination of pain and that almost disbelief of how did this pop back up again, because it's a recurring injury. It's similar to when you see like NFL players when their hamstrings act up after being out for 5-6 weeks just to rest it, and then all of a sudden on one of their first real major kickoffs to start a play, you just see them pull up and start grabbing that back of their thigh, and you just look at their face and they say, I thought we were past this. I thought it was done. And now this is going to be a conversation of, okay, how long is this going to follow her?
We've all been athletes, the three of us, at some point in our lives, and we've all had injuries. And when you have an injury, the rest of your body overcompensates for that, and especially if you come back too early. So we've heard all of the, calf injuries led to Achilles, right? There's been 5 such instances in the NBA recently. She's gung-ho to get out there. She's a competitor first and foremost. Otherwise, she wouldn't be as good as she is. So clearly she wants to get out there and play. I'm not a doctor. I'm not her doctor. I'm not here to tell her she came back early. But having an injury out on the opposite side of a pre-existing injury is very common because your body, you're trying to compensate. You can't quite cut. You can't quite move the way that you want. And the rest of those muscles, the rest of those tendons are making up for that. And that can sometimes lead to, hopefully, guys, she gets back on the court as fast as possible because the WNBA needs her.
All right, let's see, J-Dub, I'll be over here. Let's see if we can hear these comments just a few minutes ago from Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever.
It is tough. Certainly someone who has the ball in her hands as much as Caitlin, the physicality that she's experiencing for 40 minutes, it causes you to load differently, causes you to explode differently. It causes you to accelerate and decelerate differently. It's not the free-flowing movement, that we want to see when it comes to freedom of movement. And I think all of those things, at times, while it might not be one blow or another, over time can contribute to that. That's why freedom of movement is a huge emphasis from our coaches' standpoint when we have conversations at the league level. So can you point it out to one thing or the other? No, but I do think the physicality with which teams are able to play with her is a factor.
That was Stephanie White talking a little bit about just kind of the physical nature of which Caitlin Clark is seeing, the physicality that she's seeing from these teams out there. Here are the comments that she made in terms of Caitlin and whether or not she's going to be available for the All-Star game, which is coming up, I believe, this weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
The most important thing for me was just making sure that she was okay. Anybody who's been injured, as most of us have, right? It's being injured and continuing to have setbacks is frustrating. Mentally, emotionally, oftentimes being injured is isolating. From my standpoint, the primary conversations that we've had last night and today are just checking in. Are you good? How can we help? We're going to continue to stay the course. We've got you. We're supporting you. Caitlin and her team will make decisions when it comes to All-Star. And for me, it's a big deal for us to have All-Star in Indianapolis. And of course, with Caitlin being a focal point of all of that. As the coach of the Indiana Fever, it's not a bigger deal than our long-term season, but it's also part of the fun. Those are conversations that Caitlin will have with her group. I probably won't be a part of those, but we're going to support her no matter what.
So I totally forgot about that part of it, that the All-Star game is in Indianapolis this year.
Both of them, women's and men's.
Yeah, so that's a huge, huge loss if the top player in the game cannot be a part of those festivities. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move along. Caitlin Clark will not play tonight in that game against the New York Liberty. Liberty minus 9.5 is the play from BetMGM Network. Also on the WNBA side tonight, we've got Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings against the Las Vegas Aces. And the play there from BetMGM Network is the play they gave us was Paige Becker's over 17.5 points. But at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook, you have to go either 15 or 20. So we went 20 over 20 just because that's a plus bet. So it's plus 145. Paige Becker's over 20 points tonight. We'll take that. And your $12.90 bet has a chance to get you back $18.71. We won both our plays last night on the All-Star Game. Yay. Paul Skeens got us one of those victories in the All-Star Game last night. Let's hear how he did that.
You watch. He's going to be well over 200 innings. I wouldn't be surprised this year and then the rest of his career. Strikes out Torres for the first out as he touches triple digits for the first time.
Last year was a whirlwind. He had been in the big leagues for a total of 11 starts, but this year was excited to enjoy it a little bit more. His payoff pitch to Green is swung on and missed, and he turns it up to 100, makes it back-to-back Ks to open this All-Star game.
Paul Skeens faced just 3 batters, but he struck out 2. That was all we needed. Over 1.5 strikeouts. Picked up $16.77 on that one. And even though Ketel Marte drove in 2 runs in the first inning, those were the only 2 runs in the first 5 as the pitching held up after that. So we won on our All-Star Game our first 5 innings under 3.5 runs. So we picked up close to $28. We needed some wins for sure last night. Let's see if we can get a couple of more tonight on the WNBA. All right, DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Dragon Ball is here telling you everything that's happening in sports around Southern Arizona and the world.
We needed wins, and so did Skeens, but the bullpen didn't help him on that one. Anyway, Diamondbacks history was made at this year's All-Star Game. Corbin Carroll becomes the first player in the franchise's history to hit a dinger in the Summer Classic.
Mize to Carroll with the 1-2 and a high fly ball to deep right center field. Corbin Carroll leans into this one for a home run. Little man, but big time pop. Having a bounce back here. He went through a little rough patch, and now he's back on his game as he just catches a breaking ball right on the perfect part of the bat.
Again, despite Carroll's homer making it 6-0 game, the AL managed to rally back and score 6 of their own runs in the final 3 innings, and then forced the first ever swing off. Kyle Schwarber knocking out 3 bombs to clinch the NL win, only the second time they've beaten the AL since 2012. But other good news for the Diamondbacks in the All-Star game, the injury bugs seem to avoid them after Eugenio Suarez took a hit off the hand in the 8th inning where he immediately went to the floor in pain, but X-rays came back, and the All-Star looks to be in a better spot today. He's looking than he was initially as the X-rays all came back negative. It will be a wait-and-see approach to see whether Suarez will be back in the lineup Friday when the team returns from the break to start the second half of the season against the Cardinals. And drama in the NFL as the Bengals' first-round pick Shamar Stewart is back at practice, but not for his professional team. No, the star pass rusher from Texas A&M is back to practice with the Aggies, working out with his old college team as Cincinnati and Stewart continue to be far apart in contract talks. Stewart is working with his former college squad and reportedly may even consider returning to school. If he does, he'll be able to requalify for the draft in 2026, and the Bengals will not have the draft rights to Stewart after he makes that decision. So that'll be something to watch out for moving forward. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona.
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Irvington and Kinney. Kinney Road in Irvington, a hit and run. First Avenue and Grant, and also Oracle and Suffolk and Oracle. Some slowing on westbound Grant Road approaching I-10. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
I'm Michael Jenkins, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Tonight we're going to the WNBA and taking Paige Beckers over 17.5 points against the Aces. She's averaging 18.3 points per game, and it's gone over 17.5 in 6 of her last 9. She shot 60% from the floor and 50% from three-point range for the Wings in her most recent game on Sunday, so we expect her to roll. Take the over 17 and a hook. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter, beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
the best place to get all the news and highlights of your Arizona Wildcats.
Steps left, fires a three, drains a three. Their biggest lead of the game.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290 KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The remaking of the Phoenix Suns continues. Bradley Beal on his way out.
Nice backdoor cut, sets up Beal for the left-hand finish.
That's a great pass.
On the drive and kick, Beal for the three. Got it. Great backdoor cut, and Beal brings the boom.
His agent, Bradley Beal's agent, Mark Bartelstein, has confirmed today that Beal is going to accept a buyout from the Phoenix Suns. That'll be the first move.
So
and then
hot right
sign
now.
a 2-year deal, 2-year, $11 million deal with the Clippers after he clears waivers. That is the news today. Bradley Beal will give back nearly $14 million of his $110 million that are left on his contract for the next 2 years in order to complete the buyout with the Phoenix Suns. He had a 5-year, $251 million deal with a no-trade clause that he signed 3 summers ago in July of 2022 when he was still with the Washington Wizards. So not unexpected that this was going to be the road that the Suns and Bradley Beal were going to take. It was just a matter of whether Beal would agree to it, and it appears that he has, so he'll be moving on.
It's just the landscape, right?
Mm-hmm.
First was Dame. We saw DeAndre Ayton buy out his contract. Like, there's a little bit of a trend going on right now in the NBA, and they call them albatross contracts. And with the second apron of the CBA and the way it works now, if you go multiple years over that second apron, you start to lose the ability to sign free agents. You start to lose draft picks. There's some serious consequences. We've talked about it. The Golden State Warriors won titles with KD on that roster, giving $75 million plus a year to the NBA front office in luxury taxes because they went over the cap. And if listeners aren't familiar, the NBA is a cap, but it's soft. And any dollar that you go over is 50% paid taxes to the front office. It gets distributed among the other teams. So what we're seeing now is these players who are in their third, fourth contracts, DK, if they're not contributors and they maybe aren't in the immediate future for teams, you're seeing a lot of teams buy out some of these veteran guys because that you mentioned he's giving up $14 million, but it's an $110 million contract. They will defer that over the course of the next 5-10 years. And each of those years, the Suns are still responsible, and that will still count against their cap. So whether or not you're not going to see any more super teams moving forward where 4 all-stars all join together because the current CBA does not allow that. Oklahoma City's formula, draft players, bring them up, have them grow together on those first or second contracts affords that opportunity. But, yeah, it's so tough. Ishbia spent a lot of money to start, didn't work out. KD gone, Beal gone. They kind of have to do that. Otherwise, 3 years from now, Dragon Ball, they wouldn't even have the ability to have a roster because of the way the CBA works now.
No, and the thing is that we are seeing all of this because the NBA continues to have the difficulty of learning from their past mistakes in that I don't know if there's ever going to be a free agency period that damaged the NBA more than the 2016 free agency because it only just set the bar for every other free agency that followed. Because you look at some of the guys that got the money that they did. Nicholas Batum got 5 years, $120 million. Chandler Parsons, 4 years, $94 million. And other guy, Luol Deng, got 4 years, $72 million. I don't know if he even played after getting that contract. Just 2016 opened the door because of all the different franchises that were opening for trying to find that super team or trying to find the little niche players that were going to help them win championships. Because that was the same year that Kevin Durant went to Golden State. Since that time, every offseason has always had that one major, like JW said, albatross contract where you just look at it and say, how are you even going to finance that contract, let alone honor it? Because there's no way a player is going to be able to give you the value you're giving them back.
Yeah, you got to build around 2 superstar max deals, super max kind of people, and then some younger players or veteran minimums. I mean, what did Ayton sign with the Lakers? Like pittance. Like he signed with for nothing based on that veteran minimum. So you might see players hungry for a title, hungry to play on a winning culture. I mean, Beal played with the Wizards for a long time, right? They didn't have a lot of success when he was there. So that idea of those guys who have been all-stars, who have gotten their second, third big contracts, and especially those guys who have been multiple all-stars or all-NBA, and then they get the ability to sign a supermax deal. Those supermax contracts, if you don't have production from those players or if they're often injured, you cannot build around that. The way that the modern NBA, they did not like Golden State Warriors being unbeatable. They didn't like that era when other teams didn't have a chance.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
The end result is this current CBA, and here we are. Nobody liked it except for Warriors.
Exactly. Beal headed to the Clippers. He apparently talked to a number of teams, the Miami Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Lakers, the Timberwolves. Played just 53 games in each of the last 2 seasons. We've talked a lot about the injuries. He has not played as many as 60 games in any season since 2020-21. He averaged 17 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds in the 53 games he played this past season, which he started 38. Obviously, he went to the bench at one point during the season. That was a big hubbub within the storyline of what was a playoff-less 24-25 season for the Phoenix Suns. Career averages 22 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He's played in over 800 games between his stints with the Washington Wizards and the Phoenix Suns. Washington, where he was drafted number 3 overall in 2012. He scored 31 points per game during that 2021 season. That's the second highest in Washington franchise history, and it was the second highest in the NBA that season, behind a guy by the name of Steph Curry with Golden State, who averaged 32 points during that 2021 post-COVID year. Bradley Beal's career with the Phoenix Suns is done. Your thoughts on that? How do you feel about this buyout? Was this the right move by the Suns? Would you have liked to have seen them try to figure out a way to keep him next to Devin Booker? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We've got more coming up for you in this show. I was in Canton, Ohio, a month ago for an event to honor my father. There are more Tucsonans in Canton, Ohio this week, actually playing football. A lot of youth from our community are in Canton, Ohio for the annual NFL Flag Football Championships. Tucson Turf Elite, which is one of the best flag football operations here in the entire state of Arizona. They have 4 teams in Canton, Ohio this week for the national championships. We will talk with Toby Bourget is going to join us. He is the father of the Bourget brothers, the Bourget football playing brothers. Trenton, the former quarterback at Arizona State. Trayson, who actually, we didn't mention this last week when we were talking about Jake Retzlaff leaving BYU, but obviously that helps Trayson Bourget. He is now going to have a shot potentially to win that starting quarterback position for the BYU Cougars, who will come play here in Tucson this season. We've seen Trenton play here twice, and now we may get a chance to see Trayson come back and play some football here collegiately in Tucson, Arizona. Coben Bourget as well. In fact, they're going to be doing a camp. We'll have to ask Toby about that as well. We'll talk to him at 5 o'clock. They're going to be doing, Coben and Trayson are actually doing a football camp here, I believe, in a couple of weeks here in Tucson at their old high school, Marana. So that'll be a fun event for youngsters to have a chance to maybe rub shoulders with those college football players here from Southern Arizona. Always good to see those guys when they come back and the great things that they do. They've always been young men who have done tremendous things in our community and for the communities in which they play. Tremendous role models for all of our youngsters here in Southern Arizona. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are joined by the 4th member of our team. Her name is Cricket. Cricket, I scolded you yesterday because you said it was going to rain and it didn't, and then it rained and would not stop raining.
My fault again.
Your fault, as we used to say
again
growing up.
Yep.
I can't remember many times where it's pretty much rained all night long.
Yeah, that was a unique monsoon. Yes.
At night, after dark, and all night.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get too many of those, that's for sure. But it's funny because at where I live, we have like a little it's like a little one of those kind of pondish things. Sometimes it'll shoot water like a fountain kind of thing. So when it rains a lot, it'll overflow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which can get a little bit messy. It's like our own little flood kind of thing. But sometimes we just get, when it rains a lot, we just get this big, even when it doesn't overflow, we just get this huge puddle right at the bottom of our staircase.
Oh, that's nice.
Exactly.
Great.
So when I walk out this morning, I had too much stuff in my hands. Sometimes if I don't have a lot of stuff, I'll try to jump over the puddle.
Oh gosh.
But I could not. I could not do that today. So I had to step through the puddle, and it was about maybe a half-inch deep. So I got my shoes all wet.
Oh man.
Thanks, Cricket.
You're very
appreciate that. Appreciate that. Cricket, have you ever taken lessons in anything? We were talking yesterday about the demise of American men's tennis, which I don't know if you know this, but we haven't won a Grand Slam tournament in 22 years.
22 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
You remember guys like, were you in love with Andre Agassi at all?
Did
you like that mullet back in the day?
Probably not.
The old Kentucky waterfall, as we like to call it.
Yeah, we haven't had very good tennis since Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi and guys like that. 22 years is a long time. Yeah. But I was telling our listeners yesterday that the only lessons I've ever taken in my life were tennis lessons.
Oh.
When I was growing up, that's the only type of lesson. I never took anything. I never took any type of musical lessons, singing or playing any instruments or anything like that. I only ever took tennis lessons.
Oh.
Did you ever take any lessons when you were growing up?
I guess you could consider. I did some music like guitar, singing, and I was terrible at both. I realized that pretty quick, but it was nice to just kind of try something.
So did you have your own guitar, or did you have? Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So was that something like you asked for Christmas? Your parents got it, and then they said you got to take lessons now.
I saved up for it.
Oh, you bought it yourself?
Yeah, I got an acoustic guitar, and then I thought I was good. I was not. And then I bought an electric guitar.
Wow,
that's a little
look
easier.
at you.
It's easier to play an electric guitar because you have like an amplifier and and just it's easier to hit the strings.
How old were you?
Probably like about 12 to maybe like by 14, just a couple of years, and I was like, I'm terrible. I should really stop.
So you were never in a band or played in the school?
Oh, I thought I was in a band.
Oh, you?
we thought we had a band.
All right, let's hear that story.
Well, we really didn't though.
Was it a garage or was it like something?
Was it like a closet band?
Kids in the neighborhood, and you played the guitar, and there was a drummer, and you had a.
We all played guitar and we all sang too.
Oh wow!
We didn't even have a drummer.
Okay. Did you write any of your own music, or?
I think we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Fun times.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what happened? Like the group broke up?
We broke up, man. It was a rough
man.
breakup. I'm kidding. We're all still friends.
Oh, that's good.
But the band broke up.
All right. Wow. See, we learned something new about Cricket almost every day. She was in a band growing up. What was the name? Did you guys come up with was it together long enough you had a name?
I think one of my friends wanted to call it Inertia or something like that.
Inertia.
Yeah, or something.
That's good. I like that.
That's all right.
Inertia. All right. Cricket's guitar career. Man, is there any videos of this anywhere?
No. There were cassette recordings. I'm sure those have long been burned.
Oh, no.
Right. Like, do you realize how big the video recording apparatus you would need to record video back then?
Yeah.
If you were like me, you've got all your former tapes. That's my wife has a big box in the living room right now of tapes I've got to go through.
Oh, gosh. Have fun with that. That's going to probably be lengthy.
Oh, my gosh. It is going to be lengthy. It is going to be lengthy for sure. All right. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Sunrise and Kolb, a hit and run, Kolb Road and Sunrise Drive. Also in the clearing stages, Irvington and Tucson Boulevard and Avra Valley and Anway Road. Closure scheduled tonight on Euclid South the Speedway from 6 tonight till 6 tomorrow morning for some road work. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made Probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management and practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Since 1956, El Torero has been serving up authentic Sonoran-style Mexican cuisine in the heart of historic 4th Avenue right here in Tucson. Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, this South Tucson staple is where tradition meets flavor. Home of the best green corn tamales in town. El Torero's recipes have stood the test of time, offering a true taste of Tucson's rich culinary heritage. From their classic patty tacos to refreshing margaritas and cold beer. Every bite and sip tells a story of family and flavor. El Torero, more than a restaurant, it's a tradition. Visit them today on historic 4th Avenue and experience the taste of Tucson.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from El Torero. You can get a $50 El Torero gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Big news out of the Big Apple. The Jets are making Sauce Gardner the highest paid corner in NFL history. NFL Network insiders reporting the 2022 fourth overall pick has agreed to a 4-year, $120.4 million extension, including $60 million in guaranteed money. Meanwhile, the Chiefs locking up guard Trey Smith to a record-setting 4-year, $94 million extension with $70 million guaranteed, making him the highest-paid guard in the league, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Kansas City had tagged Smith in February, but got the deal done just ahead of Tuesday's deadline. Elsewhere, Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin says he's frustrated over stalled contract extension talks. McLaurin, who's entering the final year of his 3-year deal that he signed in 2022, telling NBC Sports Washington he's not sure if he'll report to training camp next week. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Now, I said at the top of the show that things were pretty good for the most part for your Arizona Diamondbacks at the All-Star Game in Atlanta on Tuesday night. Not everything, however, was good.
The first rookie in Chicago White Sox history to make an All-Star team. 2-1, and he came up and in, and that one got Eugenio Suarez on the hand, it appears. We'll have to see exactly where it got him. It is the last thing that anybody wants to see in an All-Star game, and obviously one of those places where a hitter never wants to get hit.
Shane Smith, the White Sox pitcher, for the second time. So that happened. He hit Eugenio Suarez in the hand during the series in Chicago that the Diamondbacks played. And he did it again last night in the All-Star game. Now, fortunately, Eugenio, tough guy he is, was able to shake it off, stay in the game. In fact, made a nice defensive play in that game later on in the late innings for the National League. But, man, that's that. Not only were the Diamondbacks holding their breath last night, but there was probably about 10 other teams holding their breath because, as we have said, Eugenio Suarez is likely not going to be a Diamondback much longer if they are sellers. He is one of the first people at the front of the line to be traded away from this outfit. So there is some team out there that probably is in talks with the Diamondbacks about acquiring Eugenio Suarez that was holding their breath last night as well.
Yeah, Tori's probably like thinking when it happened, like, bro, come on. Like, can we catch a break? This game doesn't count. I've had so many injuries piling up month after month after month. He was out for what, like 4 games, 5, 6 games?
Yeah, it wasn't that long, but yeah, he missed a few games for sure. Last time he got hit on the hand. So we'll see. I mean, obviously he stayed in the game, but and he's got a few days off with today, tomorrow off before they have to play again on Friday. So we'll see. If it's, I'm sure it probably did swell up a little bit after the game, and if he can grip the bat, that's going to be the big thing. Because the way that he's one of those guys, and I never really understood this, but he's one of those guys that holds his pinky finger off the edge of the knob, and there's a lot of guys that do that. I tried to do that once, and it just didn't feel right for me, but there's a lot of guys that feel like maybe they've got a better grip with that pinky finger being off because they can kind of secure the knob a little bit more, but you're at risk, obviously, of getting hit on that inside pitch if you put your hands up in front of you and that bat's going to hit, the ball's going to hit your finger versus hitting the knob of the bat.
What are the chances if your pinky's off the knob but in the batter's box that you drink your coffee the same way?
Same way, yeah.
Pinky up type of thing.
The only thing that I can think of that would potentially be with that, I've attempted that a couple of times when, again, it's been a long time since I've done actual like batting practice or things like that.
How long has it been, Dragon?
Probably about 3 years, if I had to be completely honest, when I kind of did it just as a joke over at golf and stuff one
but
time.
You're an athlete, like J-Dub said. We're all athletes.
What I said was specifically at one point in all of our lives we were athletes.
I wouldn't. That might in my instance that might be stretching things a little bit.
If you're sprinting with the time stopwatch next to you, I mean, come on.
If you're sprinting knowing that you have to leave the gym because you have to get to work in another 45 minutes, that's technically you're racing against the timer.
Okay.
But the one time I can think of where I attempted to do something similar to that, holding the pinky up, it's usually a situation where if you're not confident in how well your grip is on a foul ball, then you don't get that ringing sensation coming through the bottom of the hand as it touches the knob, because you don't have that grip just tightening at the knob of the bat. That's the only thing I really noticed when I attempted it. And like I said, it happened on one where it got on the very head of the bat. So just the whole thing usually would have had that vibration go up to my elbow. Didn't have it as bad when I had the pinky thing out. So maybe that's something that he thinks about.
Speaking of our question, one of our questions of the week this week is about American men's tennis. Taylor Fritz is at the ESPYs. The ESPYs are tonight in Southern California. Talk about an event that I never watch happening tonight.
I watched the first one.
The first one. When was that?
Well, that was the famous Jim Valvano's.
Oh, yes. I don't even know that I really watched that one. It's not an event that I pay a whole lot of attention to.
I think the last one that I watched was the Stuart Scott one. That was the last one that I really watched.
did see that one. I did see that one. So Taylor Fritz is there. They've brought Sugar Ray Leonard out of mothballs and put him up there on the stage.
How's he looking?
Sugar Ray always looks good.
He's always looked good.
He's always looked good. Absolutely. One of my favorite boxers growing up, for sure. 12-year-old kids probably don't watch boxing anymore.
I heard a lot about Sugar Ray Leonard growing up as a kid. And the main thing I always heard from my dad was Sugar Ray didn't beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Sugar Ray never beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And I can't say for sure if this story is true or not, but my dad actually got a chance to meet Sugar Ray Leonard one time. He asked him about that fight, and he said, if you tell anybody, I'll deny it up and down, but no, Marvin Hagler definitely beat me in that fight.
I think there's a lot of people that believe that for sure. All right, you've got one more day to vote in our week-long question of the week we had last week. How many football games will Arizona football win this year? You've got 22 more hours to vote on that. Right now, the polling in that is sitting at 53% think that the Wildcats will win between 4 and 6 games. I should have probably split it and put the 6 on the other side, just because 4 to 6 means that there's people that believe that the Wildcats will be a bowl team, because I think I had them at 6-6, but there's also people that don't believe they're going to be a bowl team. So thinking about this in hindsight, even though it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 plus, I should have probably put the 6 on the high side, forcing people to say 6 or more versus in that 4-6. But right now, 53% of the people saying 4 to 6 wins for the Arizona football team. 29% saying 7 to 9. That's second place right now. 29% saying 7 to 9 wins. 17% or 18% of the people saying 1 to 3 wins. And nobody believes that this team will win more than 10 games this season.
We can revisit halfway through the season and just make it simple and say, will they go to a bowl?
Will they go to a bowl? There you go. Let's tell you a little bit about a cool sweet deal we have coming up for you this week, because we always have sweet deals for you. This one is at El Torero, Friday, 8:30 a.m., WildcatsRadio1290.com, a $50 gift certificate for just $25 for El Torero. They've been serving authentic Sonoran-style Mexican cuisine in the heart of historic South 4th Avenue. I'm going to put the South in there because I was confusing myself with this script, or at least the script writers. I'll blame it on the script writers. The script writers were confusing me, calling it historic 4th Avenue, which is the one near downtown. But this is South 4th Avenue in the heart of the Southside Food District. Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, this South Tucson staple is where tradition meets flavor. Home of the best green corn tamales in town. Have either of you had the green corn tamales? No?
I'm more of a red chili guy.
Red chili tamales?
I'm more of a red tamale guy than a green tamale.
I like both, but I like green a lot just because there's like a little bit of a bitterness to it. It's great.
Well,
I just like the spice. That's the thing I mostly go for. In fact, there was one occasion where I felt that the red chili tamales were not necessarily hot enough for me, and this was at my I didn't go to a restaurant and do this. I didn't want to offend the cooks, but when it was at a local event, I went ahead and I brought out a little thing of red peppers and I sprinkled that on my red chili tamale. And someone saw that and they said, "What, is it not hot enough for you?" He's like, "I could have used a little more." And they're like, "Okay." The next year, I regretted that decision because they made sure to pack them with a lot of spice for me the next year.
El Toro's recipes have stood the test of time. They offer a true taste of Tucson's rich culinary heritage, from their classic patty tacos to refreshing margaritas. The beer is always cold. Every bite and sip tells a story of the family and the flavor. El Torero, it is more than a restaurant. It is indeed a Southern Arizona tradition. Visit them today, historic South 4th Avenue, and experience the taste of Tucson. It is a sweet deal. This Friday, 8:30 a.m., Wildcats Radio, 1290.com, a $50 gift certificate for $25. All right, Diana Taurasi is at the ESPYs tonight. She's being interviewed currently, if you're watching this on ESPN, she's being interviewed by Will Reeve, who is the son of Christopher Reeve, the #1 Superman, in my opinion. And Will Reeve is actually in the movie. He plays a reporter in the movie, in the new Superman movie, which, of course, we talked about earlier in the week, which I saw over the weekend. And if you want to give us your thoughts on the Superman movie, we'll take those. 520-848-1290. Call or text your thoughts on Superman as well. We'd love to hear what you thought. Have either of you seen it yet or no?
I'm waiting for it. I'm getting ready to here soon.
Okay, soon. All right.
Yeah, no rush.
No rush. It's going to be out for a while. There you go. We saw it at Roadhouse. And
we only see movies at Roadhouse.
Oh, that's the only place you go? Yeah, and we saw it. So we saw the movie at Roadhouse, and then we went over and hung out at Roadies.
The problem is, if you have a giant thing of nachos and 3 margaritas and watch a movie, and then you go any other place, it just kind of doesn't have the same feel.
Yeah.
And actually, one of my old compadres in television, who also works in radio now here locally, Ken Carr, he works there. He's the guy that tells you how to throw the axe. I was like, Ken, I would have never thought that you were the axe man. He's the guy that instructs you. If you take have you guys ever done the axe throwing?
I thought Axeman was the name of the guitar player in Cricket's band.
Oh, yeah,
that's
Axeman.
what I thought.
Axeman. Well, Axeman was it Axeman Foley was from Beverly Hills Cop.
Axel Rotten.
Axeman. Axeman Foley. So yeah, Ken Carr, my old compadre from the Fox way back, the Fox 11 days. He was a producer over there. We worked together when I first got into television, and now he is the guy that makes sure you don't kill yourself and others throwing the axes
Very
over
important
at
job.
Roadie. So shout out to my guy, Ken. It was good to see him over the weekend when we were there checking out the movie. DK on the sports tip. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We had some, we'll talk some Little League. Get you up to date on what's happening there in some of these state tournaments. RenCon was going for their 7th win in a row. Did they get that win last night? We'll tell you coming up straight ahead. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported on golf links near Wilmot, Sunrise and Kolb Road, a hit and run, Avra Valley Road and Anway, and also Irvington and Tucson Boulevard, and some slowing westbound Grant at I-10. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right? That I have my earbuds in. No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that? Yes. Here, use my earbuds. Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
I know that some of you are not going to like this. In fact, I know some of you are going to hate.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
That was your trophy. You knew that, right? I mean, you did know that was an elimination game, right? Because you sure as hell didn't play like it. The hell are they doing? You know what's a better idea than winning at home? Winning right this freaking second. Now what's going to happen? Have a bunch of dopes say, see, Rome, the most overrated guy ever.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
Now what?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. I knew we could not put off getting life insurance. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050 or go to SelectQuote.com now. That's 1-800-452-5050. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
This is Bill Ryder, the Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hard-working pros they serve. So Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft are sniping each other, saying that each took a risk on the other. It's hard sometimes to watch people who loved each other, or at least one together, break up. It's also time for both of them to move on. They look small and petty and sad. Celebrate your success and stop talking about each other. I'm Bill Ryder.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment. Not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
All right, Takis fans, Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
PK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The string of winning games without two of your best players ran out today in Minnesota for the Phoenix Mercury.
Tipped it into the hands of Alana Smith, and then it's stolen right back. Mack got a piece of it. The lob pass from Thomas to Bonner, and Dewana Bonner gets a 2.
Kind of push and pace on both sides.
Bonner doesn't get the call. Carlton looked at it. McBride takes it and hits it. Corner 3, Kayla McBride.
They remember this loss against Phoenix, so they're coming out with a lot of energy and focus.
Diamond Miller, shovel pass. Shepard trying to find an opening. Oh, right back to Miller. Shepard and Miller, the connection.
And that's the thing you always worry about with this Phoenix team is their ability to come back.
Lolita's down to 12. Oh, but Kliajakova just made it 15. Williams just going to dribble this out. Tisha Heidemann gives her the high five. And the game ends with the Lynx winning it 79-66. Minnesota improves to 20-4.
Snapping the Mercury's 3-game win streak. So now the Mercury 3 back in the loss column, 5 back in the win column. So 4 back of the Minnesota Lynx in the Western Conference. Once again today, no Satu Sabali for the Phoenix Mercury, no Clea Copper. Lexi Held, of course, continues to be out with the collapsed lung situation. And Monica Koamakani also did not play. She has been a spark for this team. And who knew? Who knew she was the one that had to exit for the losing streak to end. Only 11 points tonight from Dewana Bonner, 12 from Alyssa Thomas in the loss, 79-66. Kalani Brown had 11 points off of the bench for the Mercury. 18 points for Kayla McBride to lead the Minnesota Lynx, who continue to have the best record in the National Basketball Association.
It was Sophie Cunningham complaining about expansion recently, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, there's like 12 teams you play. Like, they just played the Lynx. Like, my biggest takeaway is it's just there's 13 teams. You're playing 12 other teams over and over and over again. I think that's a little bit of variety, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the story is losing your. It's been so impressive, David Kelly, that they've had the spirit and will to win to be able to get those 3 in a row without their, some of their best players. But my question is, I think expansion is great for the WNBA. So many new fans, so many eyeballs on the league right now. I think they need more teams.
They do, and new teams are coming. 2 obviously added, or one added this year? 1 added this year. Toronto's coming, as well as Cleveland and Detroit down the road.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a grace period. They announced, and then I think the Valkyries were announced 2 years ago.
Yeah, Portland's coming
thing,
as well. Portland will be the Fire.
Yep.
I think they announced that this week. They'll be the Portland Fire.
Yep.
Coming up straight ahead. We'll see what Cleveland's name, if they go back to the Rockers or come up with something else. I like the Rockers. I was a season ticket holder. I've mentioned before for the Rockers in their first several years of existence, so I'd love them to see them go back to that.
The town rocks, right?
Exactly.
That's what they're known for, is
there
rocking.
You go. Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to the Arizona Wildcats, all the play-by-play coverage, football, men's basketball, baseball is here. Get the latest news on your teams and more. It's all in one place. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play. The Wildcats Radio 1290 app sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions. Show the app to our crew if they are out, and you will have a chance to win $100. Again, the Wildcats Radio 1290 app, sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions. Text the word app to 520-848-1290. I will send you a link so that you can download our app. All right, we are exactly, fellas, I believe 2 weeks, what I've been told, July 30th is the day that football practice starts for your Arizona Wildcats. So that would be exactly 2 weeks from today. That's how much longer we have to go, technically, in vacation before it all begins again. Or don't say that to the kids in the Vail district, because they're back in school this week. Back to school Friday for the high
Paige
school
is
kids.
Thursday, I think.
Oh, wow. Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep, it starts early. It starts early for sure. We've been talking a lot about the offensive line and what the makeup of that is going to be, and that's probably going to be the top storyline for your Arizona Wildcats as we move into this second season of the Brent Brennan era. And we've mentioned a few of the new guys. They've gotten some new bulk guys down front from major Power Four conference schools. Ty Buchanan coming over from Texas Tech. You've got Tristan Bounds arriving from Michigan. But there are some guys that have been held over as well. Rhino Tapaototai, who was hurt at the end of last year, missed all of spring ball. He is going to be back. Played predominantly the left tackle position last year. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how he flows back in once he's able to get back on the field. The question, though, is does he come back as a starter? Does he come back and immediately become a starter again? Well, the offensive line coach for your Arizona Wildcats, Josh Oglesby, believes that he should and will.
Yeah, I really don't believe in guys losing their position due to injury. Maybe that's a little bit kind of because of my past, dealing with injuries and fighting back to regain your position, especially when, he was playing at a pretty good level before, he got dinged. Now, we'll be smart about his return to play.
What's the next step for Alexander Deuce? Like, what does he need to do to improve, or just kind of after starting so many games last year? What's the next step for his growth?
That's kind of an interesting question. I think the next step really for everyone is to continue to improve. This game is one that's ever changing. So, while we continue to chase perfection and all that, I think it's something that's always kind of just out of reach, right? So it keeps us wanting more and keeps us training and keeps us doing the little extra things to try to reach that ultimate, kind of pinnacle of the position. Alex has made huge strides from when he first got here to where he is now. He's another guy that's kind of taken on a little bit of that leadership role within the group. Kind of because when you look at it, it's an entirely new group. And when it comes to snaps played for the Wildcats, he's considered a veteran. He's working every day to improve on the things that he needs to improve on. He's another one that, people look at him and you think he's 30 years old, but like last year was the first time he had ever stepped on a college football field to play in a game. Everything that happened to him last year was new. Having that under his belt and continuing to grow has been awesome for him. And he's another one that, even with, the recognition and things that he received at the end of the last season, he's hungrier than ever.
Started 9 games last year, Alexander Deuce did. And again, a young man who's out of the Phoenix area, Mountain Ridge High School, decided to go to Northwestern, played a season, a redshirted his freshman season there, and came back and was immediately a guy who was placed into that starting lineup last year. Started 9 of the 12 games and is going to be an important piece moving forward. And so you've got some guys. Again, you've got some new guys, but you've got some guys coming back with tremendous experience. I know there's a lot of concern about what this offensive line is going to be, but again, you got to like a young guy like Alexander Deuce. Took I believe almost over 600 snaps last year, allowed 3 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, 10 hurries. So again, a guy that was learning on the fly in his first season playing college football, who you expect is going to be much better this year. And I mentioned those new guys coming in, guys like Buchanan, guys like Bounds, Alexander Deuce. Let's hear from him. Talked about whether he sees those guys as competition.
No, especially since these guys came in, it's been like we're all together. Like we're a very tight-knit group. We're not here at the facility. We're all hanging out. So it's more like we all progress together.
This is obviously a different offensive system than what you ran last year. Coach Oglesby said that a lot of the principles of offensive line play are the same no matter what the system is. But what are the biggest differences that you've noticed as far as the offensive line part of it goes?
Just a lot more time on the field. I think a lot more running around. I think it's like the most I could say. Biggest difference.
One of the things the coaches have talked about is being able to execute even when you're tired. What is the biggest factor that goes into that? Is it just a mental thing? How do you kind of overcome fatigue to still perform your best?
Big mental thing, especially when we're out there for a while, hot sun out there. We have to be able to perform like technically as well as we did like the first play we were out there. It took a while. It took a few practices to get used to it. I mean, the first few we puked, definitely, but I feel like now we definitely got a better handle on it. Like, we're all in it together, so when one guy's down, we pick each other up, make sure we get back on the ball.
Talking about vocalness and leadership, Noah said that he wanted to work on being more vocal this season and in training camp and spring ball. What have you seen out of Noah compared to last year and in spring so far this year?
I think he's definitely accomplished that goal. I mean, especially with his O-line, like he talks to us all the time. Like he asks us how we're doing, if we need water, if we need a break. He makes sure we're on the right path. I think he's the right leader for our offense.
Who's the defensive lineman that you go up against the most, whether that's in one-on-ones or team settings, and what is the battle like with that player?
I'd say I go against Tia the most, and he is just hard to move. He's a huge guy. He's very powerful. Besides him, I'd say Julian Savanaya. He's super strong, but he's way faster, and I feel like he gets off the ball super quick. And I haven't gone against Deshaun too much, but he's got some really good moves too.
Yeah, you got to get used to playing at that high pace for sure. Got to get used to that, especially if you're an offensive lineman. Don't eat anything that might make you want to leave it on the field, as they like to say. But again, it's a new scheme. Guys got to get used to it. They've had a spring to go through it. Looking forward to kind of seeing what it all looks like in the fall. But I think there's some promising pieces here to this offensive line. Can they gel? Will they gel? Again, Deuce was he was Pro Football Focus, and that's the outfit that does all the grading of players at every position, college football and the National Football League. He was one of their freshman All-American. So he's a guy that has a lot of potential coming into this second full season, third year overall in college and second full season with the Wildcats, to be a guy you can anchor this offensive line around. So looking forward to seeing Alexander, Rhino, Ty, Tristan, and all the rest of them, Grayson Stovall, all those guys competing in camp come 2 weeks from today. Dragon Ball is here to tell you what's happening in sports in Southern Arizona, as well as around the world.
Well, Summer League still looking good for Caleb Love. He had another dominant scoring day for the Trailblazers, turning it on in the fourth quarter against the Pelicans just last night.
Chance for the Blazers to tie the game up here. Love touches paint. Hansen with a nice screen for the layup. Tough time shooting the basketball of late. Love not having a tough time lacing the three ball. Trying to turn the corner on Quinones. On the cross, spins, fires. Man, he took out his do-it-yourself kid. He might not always be there when you call, but he's always on time. That's been his motto, makes big shots. 16, 12, and 5 for Caleb Love.
Again, going 5 of 16 from the field, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. His 17 points and 5 assists helped Portland improve to 3-1 in Summer League play. Again, we'll continue to go ahead and let you know when Cats have big days in the Summer League as the events get ready to wrap up going into the weekend. Again, the conflict between the Suns and the guard Bradley Beal is officially settled. The two sides reach a buyout on the former All-Stars contract. Beal had $110 million over 2 years left on the deal, but the money will be paid out over the next 5. And once Beal clears waivers, reports are he will sign a 2-year, $11 million contract with the Clippers, joining up with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. The move allows the Suns also to get out of the first and second apron with the move. And the NHL is already set to open up 2025-26 season after the league unveiled their schedule for next year with a triple header slated for October 7th on opening night. Florida will show off their new banner against the Chicago Blackhawks, while the Penguins face their former head coach Mike Sullivan as they travel to New York to battle the Rangers. The nightcap being Colorado taking on the LA Kings. This will be the last season of an 82-game slate for the NHL before they move up to 84 for the 2026-27 campaign following their latest CBA agreement. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 sports update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
It may only be summer, but Arizona football can't get here soon enough.
Rosano got a hole inside the 40, jumps to the left of the 30, down to the 25 to the 20, still going.
Catch Kedrick Ricino and the Cats all season long right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Some slowing westbound Grant at I-10, westbound Speedway at Main Avenue, and westbound on Ajo at Mission Road. Collisions, Golf Links and Wilmot, just east of. Sunrise Drive and Kolb Road, that was a hit and run. Abra Valley Road and Anway, and also Irvington and Tucson Boulevard. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, he's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you. And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
The best place to get all the news and highlights of your Arizona Wildcats.
Back throws from the back of the end zone. Now it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290 KCUB Tucson.
a Cumulus Media station.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Hour number 3 of our show today. I've got to send a shout out to my wife, the lovely Kathleen Kelly. Today is our 15th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary, wife. Looking forward to a little din-din later on with her to celebrate 15 years of love. Well, more than 15 years of love, but 15 years officially of love. So happy anniversary. This is the beginning of anniversary week. There's a lot of, this is the wedding anniversary is always the first. July 16th, 2010. Tomorrow will be another anniversary, July 7th. 17th, I should say. July 17th, 2008 was the day that I arrived here in Southern Arizona to begin my life here. So that'll be what, if my math is correct, 17 years. 17 years coming up tomorrow. So we'll dive a little bit more into that as well. Always good this time of the month as we celebrate life in Southern Arizona and being here and being a part of this community, and looking forward to another outstanding year of it here as well, covering all of the Arizona athletics teams as we have done now since the academic athletic year 2008 and 2009. If you want to get in on some of the things that we have been talking about today, Caitlin Clark is hurt again for the Indiana Fever. She's been declared out of tonight's game, which is underway now in New York against the Liberty with a right groin injury. Her availability for the All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis, which is this weekend, is questionable. She was to compete in Friday night's three-point contest and then start and serve as a team captain for Saturday's All-Star game. All of those, so today, I believe, is the last day of play, and then tomorrow will be an off-day travel day for those involved, and then the activities will get underway in Indianapolis on Friday. Clark aggravated that injury in the final minute of last night's 85-77 victory over Connecticut. It was in Boston. She previously missed 4 regular season games and the Commissioner's Cup with a groin issue. Indiana's game versus the defending champs will be now the 11th game that she has missed this season. She did not miss any games in college, did Caitlin Clark. She dressed for every single game of her collegiate career and every single game of her rookie season last year in 2024. The Fever this year are 8-5 with her. They are 4-5 without her. This year, she's averaging 17 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds in her second season in the WNBA. So no Caitlin Clark tonight, and likely, I would think, I can't imagine she plays in the All-Star festivities this weekend.
Well, you heard her coach, right? She said she's not involved. That's Caitlin's group that's going to make a lot of those decisions, but for the best interest of their team, obviously, it's a short season, and they got a quick turnaround. So they need her out there because they didn't exactly come out super hot to that franchise. So, you know, the good news, DK, is Ari McDonald gets to get some more shots up.
Yeah, no, Ari gets a little bit more time on the court. And the other part is that you mentioned how the Fever didn't have the hottest start coming out. The sad part is Caitlin's not necessarily been that hot herself. I mean, she has had one of the worst stretches of shooting the 3-ball when her team is on the road, I think, that she's ever had in her career, going back to her time when she was with Iowa. She is, I think, going on like 2 of 39 from beyond the arc in her most recent road games. The friendly confines of Indiana have been good to her, that she's had a couple of big scoring nights in Indiana since she returned from the injury. But on the road, she has been almost not what she's been nowhere close to what she usually is in regards to her ability to stretch the court.
And just because like her game mirrors Steph Curry's, it's very similar style. The threat of her shooting from 30, even if she's 2 for 36, leads to the 9 assists per game that she averages. Second in the WNBA in assists to Alyssa Thomas from the Mercury. So she clearly can, because she commands so much extra attention and has so much gravity out there. But yeah, I mean, I've always thought Caitlin was a bit streaky. She'll make 5 in a row, but then she might miss 6 in a row. But we always remember the 5 in a row that she makes.
Oh, yeah.
Ari McDonald getting the start, in fact, tonight with no Caitlin Clark in the lineup. Ari, so far, they're down 44-32 midway through the second quarter of that game in New York City. Ari, 1 of 4, 0 of 3 from 3 points, 3-point land. So she has 2 points and 2 assists so far. Ari, on the season, in which she has played all of her games with the Indiana Fever in 2 different stints, averaging 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Ari playing in her, I believe this is season number 5 for her in the WNBA. Season number 5 for her in the WNBA.
Correct. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
There you go. So we'll kind of keep our eyes on that, keep our ears on that to see how that all plays out. Your thoughts on that, though? Caitlin Clark out. Should Caitlin Clark even play again anymore this season? Should she just shut it down with the nagging injuries that she's had? Would that be the right decision at this point? I mean, Indiana could make the playoffs, certainly, but would it be just the right decision for her to shut it down? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've also been talking about Bradley Beal agreeing to a buyout with the Phoenix Suns. He's going to give back, what was it, $11 million?
14, I think.
14. He's going to give back $14 million to get out of that contract and sign with the Los Angeles Clippers and move on from the Phoenix Suns. Happy or sad about that? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program.
Suns fans will be happy if they sign a big or a power forward with that money because, I mean, they had a glut of shooting guards is the issue, right? You get Jalen Green over there, and what do you got, 4 shooting guards on the roster, Dragon Ball?
Four shooking guards and no real point guard to speak of, please.
Well, Ty, they had a point guard last year for 1 year, and now he's gone. Speaking of point guards in Phoenix, Chris Paul, I think, announced his final season coming up.
This will be the last year, so I'm hoping the best for CP3 wherever he happens to end up. I mean, he's been a stellar player his entire career, always been really fun to watch him. And the other part of it also, going back to Bradley Beal, him potentially joining up with the Clippers, I'm curious to see where Clipper fans feel about that move, considering they just gave up Norman Powell in a recent trade. I mean, is that really a comparable trade-off for Clipper fans? Do they feel that that's a fair trade? Yeah, we lost Norman Powell, but we get Bradley Beal back. I don't know. I feel like you would be better off with Norman Powell than you would be for Bradley Beal right now.
Possibly. I mean, that's. You got to look at that. And Bradley Beal's just got to prove that. And I don't know at this point of career if he's a guy that's going to be able to play 82 games again, or at least maybe even play 70 plus games again. But you'd like to see him at least be able to do that moving forward. Get back on the court and be a guy that can play 70-plus games. What's the threshold? I think 65. You got to play minimum 65 to be considered for awards. At least be able to play that moving forward. I think you'd like to see, considering he's only played 53 the last 2 games. All right, we were talking a little bit earlier about the ESPYs being tonight, and Taylor Fritz was there, the American male who made it to the semifinals of Wimbledon this past year. If you head on over to our Twitter account, Wildcats1290 right now, our question of the day, finalized voting on yesterday's question, will an American male tennis player win a Grand Slam championship before the end of the decade of the 20s? The final voting came in, 80% of you saying no, that is not going to happen. All right, we mentioned we've got some of our youth footballers back in Canton. As I like to say, next stop, Canton, Ohio, for the NFL Flag Football Championships. Tucson Turf Relief, about one of the best outfits that there is in the country, has 4 teams back in Canton this weekend. Let's talk to the guy that runs it all. He is the boss of the Bourget football family. Toby Bourget joins us now from Canton, Ohio. Toby, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. This is becoming a routine trip for you guys to Canton, to have a chance to really show these kids what football is all about, the birth of professional football. I got to imagine that they love going back for this event every year.
Yeah, it's a special event. The NFL is so involved in flag football. They put on a great experience for not only the kids, but the families that go. And, yeah, it's amazing. It used to be at Disney World for several years. It used to be then a Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, and now it's in Canton. So it's been a really, really neat chapter and journey in our lives, and it's been shared with hundreds and hundreds of Tucsonans. So it's really cool.
All right, so how many teams do you guys have back with you? I believe it's 4 you have this year?
This year we have 4. Last year we brought 7, which was
wow.
That was a record for us. I think that was a record actually for any program in the nation. And we have now, I think we've run our streak up to 13 straight years that we've taken multiple. The only time we took one team was when Trayson and Isaiah Roebuck and Desmond Ryland, they were like 10U. So they were like 7, 8, 9 years old. And that was in 2013. And then since then, we've taken multiple teams every year, which is it's unheard of. It's crazy.
So how is this whole thing grown for you guys that obviously you're able to allow that many kids this opportunity to play on that stage?
Well, it's like any, I don't even want to say travel team. It's like there's tournaments that are in your region. And it's now you can't go to just any tournament. You have to go to certain tournaments, and you have to win the tournament. That's what I love about what the NFL does with NFL Flag. It's not like a pay-to-play type thing. It's not an open tournament. It's like with Little League World Series. Like you get eliminated. Like 99% of the teams get eliminated in the process.
Wow.
And now only the last 32 teams standing. They get invited to Canton or wherever Nationals is, and that's what Canton, Ohio is this weekend. So
now you guys, one of your girls' teams, the 12U girls, they won the Denver Broncos regional.
Yeah, our 12U girls, they've been doing a great job in building that team. We've got several girls' teams now, which is really good. I mean, out in San Diego, they have leagues with like 300 girls' teams, all girls.
Oh, wow.
So we're not quite there, obviously, in Southern Arizona, but the girls have been working hard. They've got some great coaches at that level. We usually, we've had a girls' presence, for quite some time, but this is the first time in a long time we don't have a high school or a 14U girls team. Our 14U lost by 1 point in 3 different regionals, so really, really tough. But it's competition.
So it's set up like you can go to different regionals to try to qualify. Hey, we lost here. Let's go here and see if we can qualify. Is that kind of how that works?
It is, but it's regulated. So you can only go to certain ones in the West Coast, right? So there's certain ones that are like close to that region, and there's like 2 that are open to the whole country. So given if you take second place, like. We took second place, David, back when Trenton and Terrell and Mario and those kids they lost 6 tournaments in a row at different regions before we actually punched our ticket to go to nationals. And we lost our minds because it was such a big deal. And I tell the kids and the parents now, don't take this for granted. And we would lose by 1 point. In Houston, I can remember the day, the tournament right now, both of our teams lost by a point to teams out of Miami, and it cost us going to nationals. The only team that won that year was, like I said, Isaiah Roebuck was 10, Trayson was 9, Desmond was 6 playing with him, Ryland was 7. So, yeah, it goes back quite some time, man. It's been, like I said, it's been awesome.
Well, yeah, and you talk about
I think you've been with us the whole time, I think, David.
Yeah, pretty much. Right? We've been coming to you guys since those guys were just little squirts running around out there in Moran. And we were just talking earlier. I mean, it's great. You guys got, in fact, Trayson and Coben have a camp coming up, I see.
They do. They have really put a lot of energy. It's trying to give back, right? Make it more than just yourself. And they remember going to a lot of the camps like Lance Briggs and Clay Hart, Teddy Bruschi. I used to help with those camps when they were little kids, and they can remember the college players. And they just said, we only get this chapter one time in our lives, and we want to use the platform, make it bigger than just ourselves and our career. And Trayson's been flying home. He'll practice on Friday. He'll drive to the airport. He'll fly home. He'll do sessions with kids individually, and then they'll host camps and stuff. This weekend's a really big camp. It's really bringing a top young quarterback coach in Arizona. They're bringing him down, Trey Anderson, and he does a great job. And he does this every weekend in Phoenix, and that's why I keep telling Tucsonans, take advantage of these opportunities, because the little extra that you get from these sessions, it shows up immediately. And I have parents that are, they're texting me every week, like, I learned something from your son last weekend. He taught my son something, and then on Saturday, my son implemented it in a game or in practice, and my daughter learned something from Rylan, and it's real stuff. And I love that they're doing it. It's at Marana High School. I think you have the information, right? Marana High School tomorrow, or excuse me, I'm all messed up out here. It's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday,
coming up this weekend.
Marana High School.
You mentioned Rylan, your daughter, one of the most decorated high school student athletes in Southern Arizona in recent memory, winning state championships in volleyball and soccer, among other sports as well. And she's actually in the system for the United States, is going to be obviously adding flag football into the Olympics. She's been into that system now. How's that gone for her?
It's going great. She is right about where we thought she would be at this point. She was out of flag football for 4 years of high school. She didn't do any flag football because it wasn't offered, and she was focusing on the sports that could get her to college. And after she finally chose sand volleyball and got that career rolling at ASU, they approved flag football for the Olympics, and she made that choice, and she couldn't do them both because of the time spent training with flag football specific stuff and playing tournaments. So yeah, she's chasing that dream, and she is right now. She sits, David. There's like top 50 women in the country for the Olympics. They're only going to take 10. She's between probably like 18 and 22 right now.
Wow.
If you had to know like a ranking, so she's got a couple years to continue to climb that ladder, and she's putting in the work. I mean, she's a worker, and she plays in men's leagues. Against men to keep honing her skills, and yeah, it's good.
And Trenton's on his way to being the next Kenny Dillingham, right?
Trenton's got his goals. You guys have known Trenton. Anybody that's known Trenton since he was a little boy knows that, his ultimate goal is to coach at the highest level, and if that's NFL or college, but he loves the college game. And he's in a great situation. Coach Dillingham is a really, really good mentor for him, and they're learning about Trenton as a coach really quickly up in Tempe, for sure.
Tell me, when he threw that touchdown to Coben at the stadium last year, what was going through your mind?
Well, that's the beauty of it, is that those moments, they get skewed. Coben actually caught the first down the play before he threw the touchdown.
Yeah.
But as people remember, like yourself, it all mushifies, and it makes it even better, right? That's the beauty of stories. My wife and I were sitting there in Arizona Stadium, where we spent so many years when they were kids, and to have Trenton trot out on the field, which Trenton had already played a game there, which was amazing a few years back, but to get that opportunity as a graduating senior, and then when they put Coben on the field with him, it was almost like we just held our breath. It was crazy. You're sitting on the edge of your seat, and then he throws that swing pass out to him, and Coben catches it and gets a first down. And I will tell you, I cried. I'm old enough to tell you my emotions got the best of me. It was just a really, really great, what a way to go out for Trenton and throw to his brother. It was a really cool situation.
There you go. Well, continue doing the great things you're doing with youth football here in our community, and we'll keep an eye on how things are going down in Canton.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate the support, and Tucson football. It's only getting better, so thank you.
There you go. Toby Bourget, Tucson Turf Elite Football, one of the best outfits in terms of passing league 7-on-7 that you're going to find here in the state of Arizona. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Some backups at Grant Road and Alvernon Way for southbound and westbound travel and road work at the intersection as well. A new collision reported at Golf Links and Swan, slowing there at that intersection for southbound, eastbound, but mostly westbound Golf Links approaching Swan. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants, and the spider, scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right?
What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Bring on back to school with on-trend styles at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Let's check in on the New York Liberty in their pursuit of a second straight WNBA championship. Right now, New York has a 14-6 record on the season, with only one game remaining before the All-Star break. Most recently, the Liberty defeated the Atlanta Dream 79-72. New York was led by second-year player Leonie Fibich, who finished with 21 points in the Sunday victory. Her head coach, Sandy Brondello, knows how big of an impact Fibich is for the squad.
She's the ultimate professional, how she comes ready to play and selfless. Most pure shooter I've ever seen, and with her size at 6'4", her ability, to come off a screen and just get balance and shoot it, it's beautiful.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan-Decker on Westwood One.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
Did you know there are more ways than ever to save with Allstate? Like adding more cars to your policy means you could save more. Same with bundling home and auto. More savings. Oh, and staying safe on the road? Ding, ding, ding. You guessed it, more savings. So check Allstate first, and you could save more today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Potential savings and prices vary, including based on how you buy. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The All-Star game last night ended in a home run swing-off.
He swings and sends one down the line and right. He's on a knee, and he has gone 3 for 3 to put the NL on top 4-3. What a show by Schwarber.
The home run swing-off. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I liked it. J-Dub and David didn't like it. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Head on over right now to our Twitter account, at Wildcats1290. You can vote in today's question of the day. Did you like the swing-off to finalize the MLB All-Star game last night? Yes, it was a hit. No, it struck out. Early on, it was no, it struck out. But since then, 75% of the people saying yes, it was a hit. 75-25 right now. Folks liking the home run swing-off last night to decide the All-Star game. I liked it too. Why did you like it? 520-848-1290. Why didn't you like it? Call or text us at that number, 520-848-1290. All right, I mentioned that it is Little League season. We've got a number of tournaments that are going on right now, so we want to update you on some of those. Shout out to the juniors from Sunnyside, District 12. They wrapped up the state championship last night with a 3-1 win over Litchfield Park. Sunnyside went 5-0 at the state tournament, beating Lake Havasu, Nogales National, Flowing Wells Continental, so they beat both of their other opponents here from Southern Arizona, District 8 Nogales, District 5 Flowing Wells, and then they knocked off Litchfield Park in 2 games as Litchfield Park eliminated Flowing Wells in the elimination final before Litchfield Park loses to Sunnyside. So congratulations to the juniors from Sunnyside. They are on to the West Regionals there. Also, the Majors Division, which is the division that filters in to the Little League World Series. We've been talking about Rincon from District 12. They're the only Southern Arizona team that's left. Both District 5, I believe, was Marana, and District 8, which was Douglas, lost. Well, actually, Marana did win 1 game while they were down there. Douglas lost their 2 games. Marana went 1-2. But Rincon has just been on a tear through the All-Star tournament. sweeping the district, 4 straight wins by a combined score of 65-0. They won their first 2 games at state, beating Flagstaff 12-2 and Queen Creek 2-zip. So 6-0 at the All-Star level by a combined score of 79-2. Rincon last night lost to Arcadia 8-7. So Rincon is going to have to come back through the winners to the elimination bracket. They will play Red Mountain tonight in an elimination game to try to get back into that championship game at the end. So 6 straight games they had won that came to an end last night for Rincon Little League as they fell to Arcadia by a score of 8-7. They had given up just 2 runs in 6 games of the All-Star tournament, but they gave up 8 last night. So we'll see what happens. I believe that is an 8 o'clock game tonight up for the Rincon kids against Red Mountain. Best of luck to them there. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Diamondbacks will not play again until Friday. They'll welcome in the St. Louis Cardinals for the weekend to start the unofficial second half of the season at 47-50. They are likely going to be sellers. We could be seeing the final games for Eugenio Suarez. He was asked, in fact, about that at the All-Star game. He was asked about the potential of going to a team like the Yankees. I don't even know who plays third base right now for the New York Yankees. But he was asked about the potential of going to a team like the New York Yankees, Eugenio Suarez. He said, hey, it's a team that wants to win. They're still hungry. I would do my best to help them win a World Series. That's Gino.
You got Oswald Peraza at that third right now.
Oswald who?
Peraza.
Oswald Peraza. Yep, there you go. Some guy I've never heard of. He's probably an all-star, right?
Hey, most of them are.
It's probably, if we haven't heard of him, he's probably an all-star. So we'll see what happens with Gino, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly. Any of those guys potentially could be on their way out of Arizona at the trade deadline. All right, also this weekend, these Tucson Sugar Skulls are going to be back home. They lost to Northern Arizona, the worst team in the league, over the weekend, so that's never a good thing. And you just never know in indoor football. Every team can score, but you should not have lost to Northern Arizona. Sugar Skulls making it hard on themselves. They still have a shot. There still is a shot for them to go to the postseason. They would have to win out. Hope Vegas loses out. Now, the good thing is that they play Vegas in one of their final 2 games. In fact, I think they play Vegas this weekend at home. So you got to beat Vegas this weekend and hope they lose again next weekend and you win. If Tucson finishes tied with Vegas for first place in the Indoor Football League, they've got the tiebreaker right now. The first tiebreaker is based on record within the conference. And at the moment, the Tucson Sugar Skulls have won 1 more game in the conference than the Vegas Nighthawks. And if they beat them, then they'll be up +2. So that's a good thing. Still a shot. It's a long shot, but there's still a shot for the Tucson Sugar Skulls to make the postseason. We shall see. DK on the Sports Tip, 1 segment left to go. 520-848-1290. Get in on all of that here, of which we've been talking about. We'll have your Desert Diamond Casino replay coming up for you as well. As we wrap things up today, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Oracle and First Avenue. That did occur, and they do intersect up north in Oro Valley at First Avenue and Oracle. Near Davis Month and Swan and Golf Links and Swan. Collision there, and there are big backups at the intersection of Swan and Golf Links. 75 the overnight low, 96 tomorrow, and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Oh, I love this scene.
Yeah, man. I bet we could pull off a street race like this.
Dude, totally.
Hey, you know this is just a movie, right?
Whoa, what?
You try this in real life, you could kill someone, or even yourself.
Life's not like the movies. Avoid a life-changing consequence and slow down, because this is one disaster you can't outrun. Speeding catches up with you. A message presented by NHTSA.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets!
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. The Washington Commanders made the NFC Championship game last season and were still aggressive to start this offseason, landing Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. But now the Commanders are in a public and ugly contract dispute with Terry McLaurin, who had 13 touchdowns a year ago. The time to strike for the Commanders is now, and they should give McLaurin a 3-year deal worth about $100 million, which at $33.3 million a year would make him the fourth highest paid receiver in the NFL. I'm Zach Gelb.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. sounds like it smells amazing.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of today's show, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. FC Tucson is going to be on the road to open up the USL League 2 Championship playoffs. We will chat with Sebastian Pineda, the head coach of FC Tucson, tomorrow on our show as they head out to Ventura County to begin the first weekend of postseason play. It looks like we're headed for a stalemate in college football in terms of agreement on what the future of the playoff is going to be in a possible 16-team format. We've detailed last week that the ACC and the Big 12 are on the same page in terms of the 16-team format, preferring the 5-11 model, 5 automatic bids for the top ranked conference champions and 11 at-large bids. The SEC coaches seem to be on board with that. I don't know if their AD or their commissioner is, but the coaches like that model. The only people that don't seem to like it is the Big Ten. The Big Ten is going to be the conference that apparently draws the line in the sand and holds to their 2-2 or their 4-4-2-2
I
model.
blame those long traditional killers in the Big Ten, the USC Trojans. That's who I blame for sure. It's just tradition. I mean, so many tradition-rich schools up there. Stick to what you do, and we all know the game, and we all know that the SEC and the Big Ten have all the I mean, in their minds, DK, they have every single card in the deck right now. They want to see a world in the future, in the present, where they get 80% of the bids between those two leagues, and everybody else can fight over the scraps.
The other thing is obviously the number of conference games, because the SEC still only plays 8 conference games. Everyone else, I believe, at least the Big Ten and the Big 12, I know for sure, and the Pac-12 did in the day, played 9. And that's been the other sticking point, I think, for a number of years as it relates to the SEC only playing 8 conference games. They play 4 non-conference games, and that's why we often see that game I talked about last week, that late season game where Alabama is playing Samford or a school like that in week 11 or 12, because they only play 8 conference games. They need to move to 9 conference games. They need to be like, everybody needs to play the same amount of conference games. I would think we could all agree on that. Maybe they don't see it the same way. And the SEC, they have their own way of thinking. But I would think that everybody would be cool with playing the same amount of conference games. You at least got to do that.
You get the logic, right? I mean, because traditionally the SEC's had the most quality depth, right? You're talking about maybe 5-6 teams every year that have a chance to go to the college football championship game, maybe 3 or 4. So the logic there being, you want as many teams as possible. So from the front office of the league, when you have to play 8-9 conference games, DK, the injuries pile up, the tired legs pile up, and the chances of you losing the 7th, 8th, or 9th conference game late. And if you're the 6th-ranked team in the country and you're trying to get a bye, and I mean, it used to be 2 teams, used to be 4 teams. Now there's a little bit more leeway with those 12. But late in the season, the logic has to be our conference is so strong, we're going to have some of our better teams lose late, and that doesn't look good on the resume.
Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, said this week that we have a 12-team playoff, 5 conference champions, and if we can't come to an agreement on 16, then we'll just stay at 12. So there you go. That's where we are right now. They were hoping to have a decision on this, and will either way, by the end of the year. All right, it's time now for your Desert Diamond Casino replay. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. We had a chance earlier in the show to talk to Ben McCartney. He is one of the forwards for the Tucson Roadrunners hockey team. He'll be potentially playing his 5th season here, 5th full season. He's actually appeared already in 5 seasons because he played a few games 5 seasons ago with the Roadrunners. But he's on a 2-way contract with the Utah Mammoth, so obviously hoping to be able to potentially make that squad out of training camp and become a full-time national leaguer. But what does he have to do to make that happen? He'll be in camp with the Utah Mammoth. I asked Ben McCartney what he feels like he needs to show to potentially be able to make the opening day roster.
You know what? Just being consistent. I feel like that's everything in life, is just doing the same things every day. And, you know, I think that comes with maturing. And I think that's what's going to help me get to the next level. And you got to go to camp, but you don't want to do too much, but you don't want to do too little. So it's just something about just being in the happy medium of all things. And I feel ready to go already, and I'm excited for September.
What do you feel you do best? What's like, if you were to write out your scouting report, what are some of the things you're putting on there?
I think it's just more of my energy. I think I'm capable of doing a lot of different things out there, whether it's being on the fourth line or being able to contribute on the top lines. I think it's interesting the way I play, because when I'm at my best, it's when I'm carefree. And, it's just pretty much just being kind of a grinding type role, but having a little offensive flair. And, I just got to stick to that.
So, are there times where you feel like maybe you're not in that carefree kind of mindset? Do you feel like you get too tight at times? What's it like when you get out of that?
Yeah, I think obviously there's times it almost feels like when you're playing your best, it seems like you're not thinking about anything. And I think there's like a happy medium. You got to stay focused in the game. But if you stay too focused, you start overthinking other things in the past. But it's just more like maturing. Just keep learning, be like a sponge out there. Like, I was talking to a guy who was 38. He was playing pro hockey, and he still learns things to this day. So it's kind of just be a sponge. Learn something every day.
Who's that guy that you learned from?
Crapnell.
Yeah.
He used to play there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember him as well. I was going to ask you also about kind of what you loved about playing with Cameron Hebig.
Oh, I loved it. That guy, I've been with him for 4 years. It's been unbelievable. And, a guy I learned a lot from. And, I only have good things to say about Heaves. One of the hardest workers I know, and he deserves everything he gets. And it's been a pleasure playing with him.
Ben McCartney shouting out the former captain back in 22-23, Adam Cracknell. We had Adam on the show a few weeks ago here as he's back in Tucson, got a camp going on for kids over at Tucson Arena. And great to hear that that's a guy that really shined off a little bit and of his luster on Ben McCartney, who will be back with the organization again this season on a 2-way contract, signed a 2-way contract deal worth $775,000. That is your Desert Diamond Casino replay, and it's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. All right, 520-848-1290, final few minutes of the show. Once again, will join us tomorrow. We'll talk some FC Tucson with you tomorrow. We'll also dive further into our previews for Arizona football coming up tomorrow. We've got we pretty much finished up with our offensive line. We'll start to get into some of the other position groups, defensive line, as well as the other positions on offense, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight ends, linebackers. That's, to me, if there's a storyline on offense, and I say that's going to be the offensive line for your Arizona Wildcats, I think the storyline on defense is going to be the linebackers. And then that became a story as soon as Jacob Manu decided that he was not going to come back, because we saw very, very much last season how when he got injured and was no longer in the lineup, how difficult it was for the Arizona midsection to get a whole lot done on that defense. So who are going to be those guys? Tay Brown got to play a lot last year. Can he now be a guy to step to the forefront and be your leading tackler in the middle? I think that's maybe the one group that has a lot of unanswered questions that we're going to have to begin to figure out once we start fall camp 2 weeks from today. We shall see. 520-848-1290, once again, is the number if you would like to get in on the program. We'll also, again, get into the defensive backs. I think that's the strongest group coming out for this defense. And will we maybe see a few of those guys? We've seen that a little bit in the past where they'll put 7, 8 defensive backs on the field versus linebackers because they're a little bit stronger in terms of play and depth at that position. Is that maybe a way you go try to make some of those big safeties like Dalton Johnson hybrid, quote, linebackers in this defense?
I mean, you would almost kind of think that they'd have to with the amount of corners and safeties they have on the roster. And this is the other part of it that's interesting is that when you make that decision, go 8 DBs deep, what do you then do with the defensive line? I mean, that the one thing that always gets me nervous when you go to those dime nickel type of packages is does an offense see that there's not a lot of meat up on the front line and decides, okay, this is a good time for a draw. And they get you that little 6-7 yards that they need, maybe not to get the first down, but at least get to field goal range. And that by itself will still be something that goes ahead and chips away at, your attempts at coming back or a lead that you may have and things like that. So I'll be interested to see if they do decide to go with a heavy DB system, do they choose to still go with more linebackers on the field or will they load up on the defensive line in comparison?
Depends how much the running back weighs that day, I think.
This is true.
Hopefully we won't be seeing a lot of guys that weigh like Cam Scatterby did last year.
Fullback body.
Fullback bodies. Exactly. Fullback bodies. Running back will also be a fun kind of, it always is, but it'll be, obviously that's a position where you got to have somebody. Keto Grisino saw a lot of time last year, but you've got a number of new guys in that room as well that are going to be coming over and competing for an opportunity to go out there. And the wide receivers, there's a lot of guys, a lot of speed, but not a lot of attempts, I should say, receptions in that group. So.
I think, for as great as T-Mac was, he was a bit of a comfort blanket, DK, over these past few years. I'm really interested to see how that ball gets spread around the field, right? Because when you're that tall and you can go high pointed in a crowd, obviously that's going to be the target you're going to look for. So the wide receivers, a lot of those guys are going to see balls they might not have seen the last few years.
That is true. Spread it around. That's what you're hoping with this high impact offense that Seth Deggy is bringing in here. A lot of opportunities for guys to get balls. They're going to be, again, a lot of plays. I don't know if, like I mentioned before, I don't know if we'll get up to the 100 play count that was always the goal in the Rich Rodriguez days, but it's going to be somewhere close to that as Seth Deggy tries to roll this thing out and get a lot of points up on the board for the Arizona Wildcats. That's going to wrap up our program for today. I'd like to thank everybody that was a part of it. Ben McCartney for the Tucson Roadrunners and Toby Bourget from Tucson Turf Elite Football. Again, they are back in Canton, Ohio at the Tucson Flag Football Championships. It was interesting. Toby mentioned this used to be an event that was around the Pro Bowl. It was kind of in that Pro Bowl week window in Orlando, Florida, right before the Super Bowl. But the last couple of years, they have moved it to the summer months, probably an opportunity to get more kids involved in flag football at this time of the year versus during that school year time frame where you got to really kind of pull kids out of school to get them to a place like Orlando. I mean, everybody's still out of school for the most part, unless, of course, you're in Vail. And then you can get kids and have a chance to do it at the home of pro football, Canton, Ohio. The fields there they have for these. It's right next to Camp McKinley High School and the stadium there, Fawcett Stadium. They've got just a gazillion fields there for youth football, and they're all really, really beautiful. So they're playing on some of the nicest fields that they've probably played on across the country. So good luck to our Tucson Turf teams that are playing there this weekend. For J-Dub, for Cricket, for Dragon Ball, I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 3 o'clock, DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions Oracle and First Avenue and Oracle in Oro Valley. Also collisions Swan and Golf Links back up southbound Swan at Golf Links. Heavy westbound backups on Golf Links approaching Swan. And we're looking at about 75 is the overnight low, 96 for tomorrow. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The American Red Cross is asking to give blood or platelets now to help people counting on life-saving medical care. Type O blood is especially needed on hospital shelves. It's the most common blood type and can be critical in emergencies. If you don't know your blood type, that's okay. You'll learn it after your donation, and donors of all blood types can make a tremendous difference. Make an appointment to give today. Use the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to book your donation.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart strategy does. At Cumulus Digital, our campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by more than 25% because we go beyond clicks and impressions, showing you exactly who saw your ad by name and address. We build solutions that fit more than 4,000 businesses that partner with us every month. Let's build one for you. You're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches. Even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
The best place to get all the news and highlights of your Arizona Wildcats.
Swing and a miss. The Arizona Wildcats are going to Omaha.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290 KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
It is the JR Sport Brief show here on the Infinity Sports Network. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you to everybody tuned in and locked in all over North America. Hope you've had a tremendous Wednesday. I'll be hanging out with you for one more hour. This show gets started every weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. I'm in Atlanta. Thank you to our producer in New York City, Ryan Botcher, for helping to hold things down. We got a whole lot more to get into as the show continues on. Of course, at the end, we'll talk about a few things that took place this day in sports history. It is Wednesday. Today, I've given you a new top 6 list. We took a look at some of the best rookies. A matter of fact, not even the best. I gave you a top 6 list of rookies to pay attention to in 2025. Now, Shador Sanders, another